it's Anya here, and I'm back with another video for Ophelia Talks Crochet. And in this tutorial we are making a very simple garment based on the reading shawl, but this garment is so easy to make and so lovely to wear that you will want to make one straight away. So our moderator Teresa came up with this idea of making a sleeveless sweater vest where you make two simple panels, crochet them together, and you can wear them. And here she is showing off her sweater vest as well as her daughter Poppy, who can also wear it. So for them it's really easy because they can both wear the same garment, although of course not at the same time. Thank you, Teresa, for coming up with this idea, and let me show you how to make it. For the Greenway Sweater Vest you will need exactly the same yarn as what we used for the reading shawl, so Starcraft Impressions. This is an Aran weight yarn and we have all the colours on our website, so do go and have a look. The hook that I'm using for this sweater vest is going to be larger than the yarn suggests. So the yarn suggests a 4.5. I would normally go down to a 4, but in this case I'm going to be using a 5.5. So that means I'm going to use a hook size that is 1.5 sizes larger than my usual hook size for the thickness of yarn. This is because I want to make a lovely flowy fabric. So you don't want it to be stiff, you want to wear it, so it needs to be nice and cozy, nice and flowy. And by upping your hook size a little bit, that is what will happen. You will of course also need a darning needle and some scissors, and maybe even some stitch markers or some clips to help you assemble your garment. For size medium I am using 3 balls of Starcraft Impressions, and we have a written pattern available on our website, and in that pattern you will have 3 different sizes. There will be sizes for small, medium and large. So as usual in the tutorial we are making the medium size. So to get started we're going to make a slip knot, insert your hook and tighten the loop a little bit, and then we're going to chain 77 chains. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I will see you when you have 77 chains. So now that you have your 77 chains, we're going to get started by placing 1 double crochet in each stitch along the chain. But of course we need to make the height first, so out of this last 77th chain will come 2 chains, and those 2 chains are going to be representing a double crochet. So let's do chain 1 and chain 2, and that is our first double crochet. Now we're going to continue by placing 1 double crochet in the next chain, and we will do that all along our row. Now remember, I use American terminology, so a double crochet is yarn over, insert, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, and yarn over, pull through 2. And this is how you're going to continue all along your chain, and I will see you at the end of the row. So I have made it to the end of the row here. Make sure you get into that last chain, and also make sure you count your stitches. So you need to have done 77 stitches. The multiple for this garment is 2 plus 1, so you must make sure you have an uneven amount of stitches. So now we're going to get started on doing row 3, and we're going to get started by doing a chain 3. Then we turn, and this chain 3 is made up of 2 chains which stand for a double crochet, and then the third chain stands for the chain that we're going to use to make the box. So we're going to be skipping 1 stitch, and so we need to have a chain to skip that stitch, and then in the next stitch we're going to place 1 double crochet, and that's our first box made. So now we're going to start our repeat of chain 1, skip 1, 1 double crochet in the next stitch. And of course this is where our multiple comes in. To make a box we need 2 stitches, but of course to get started on our row we need the 1 individual stitch. So 2 plus 1. So this is how we are now going to continue. Chain 1, skip 1, 1 double crochet in the next stitch, and you should be able to work all the way to the end of the row, and you will be making 38 boxes. I will see you at the end of the row. So when you get to the end of the row, make sure you realize that you have 1 stitch left there and another stitch as well. So you're going to chain 1 and skip 1, and then the second stitch that you have left there, which is a chain, you'll need to try and get into it. Try and pick up 2 strands so it doesn't expand, and you do your double crochet there. So this is now the end of the row, and in this row you have now made 38 boxes. So make sure you have the amount of boxes that you need. So now for row 4, we're going to do a row 2. So that means we're going to be doing double crochets. So let's chain 2. This counts as our first double crochet of the row. Now we're going to turn our work, and now we're going to place 1 double crochet in each stitch. So if it is a chain space, you will be placing your double crochet around the chain space. And if it's a stitch, then you just place your double crochet under the 2 strands of the V of the stitch. And this is how you're going to continue all along your row, and make sure that you get back to your original stitch count. So in our case, 77 stitches. So I've made it to the end of the row. Here I have placed my double crochet around the chain space, and then here at the end I'm going to place 1 in that second chain of the chain that we made there. Voila! So that's the end of my row. I have 77 stitches again, and I'm going to get started on row 5. And row 5 is a repeat of row 3. We are going to be making boxes again. So you chain 3, turn, skip 1 and 1 double crochet in the next stitch. And this is how you're going to continue. Chain 1, skip 1, 1 double crochet in the next stitch. Now, when you get to the end of this row, you're going to have to make sure your fabric is how you like it. Your work is the width that you're going to need, and you will be able to undo it still, because you haven't done all that much just yet. Okay, so this is a place where you're going to do some assessment, making sure that this work is exactly what you need it to be. Now, from here on outwards, we are going to be repeating row 3, row 2, row 3, row 2, and so on. So we're going to be making rows of boxes and rows of double crochets. You're going to be making 43 rows, making sure that you end in a row of double crochets. You will need to make 2 panels, which you will then hold together, and you will then have your sweater vest. But make sure that while you are making your 2 panels, you obtain the correct measurements for your size, for the size that you want to make. So hold your panels together temporarily with stitch markers, try it on and see how it fits. So I will see you now when you have made your 2 panels. When you have finished both the panels, make sure you pin them together with stitch markers or crocodile clips and try them on. Make sure you realize, of course, where your arm openings are and where your head opening is going to be. Lay both the panels on top of each other with the good sides inwards, so with the bad sides on the outside, and then we are ready to start crocheting them together. Use stitch markers to indicate where you're going to be joining, and make sure you leave an opening for the arm opening and of course for the head. Now also make sure after you have done this particular instruction to try it on, so that you know that the openings are the sizes that you need them to be. So of course with the same yarn, make a slip knot, insert your hook, and we are going to try and find the cornermost stitch at the base of our sweater vest. And it's always interesting here to try and find the best strands to go under. Now you could go around the whole chains there, but that's a little bit too rough for my liking. So we're going to try and pick up some strands. Now this is one strand of the V. I would like to pick up the second one as well. You can here and there pick up just one strand, it's fine, but not in this corner position here, because this is a location where there might be a lot of stress on your garment. So make sure you pick up 4 strands here and you do your single crochet as a standing single crochet, of course. And now we're going to continue along the side, trying to pick up whatever we can. And yes, here I am picking up just the 1 strand. In the next stitch I will try and pick up 2 strands. Each time, of course, you're going to go over to the other panel and pick up the strands there. We will be having a seam appearing because we're placing single crochets, but of course we are working on the inside of our garment, so once we have finished joining, we will turn our garment inside out and you won't see these seams. Make sure also that you are tallying up the boxes rows and the double crochet rows with the 2 panels, so that they don't go skew-if from one another, but that from the outside it's going to look like they just continue along your side. Work your way up the side, but make sure you leave some rows unworked, of course, for your arm opening. And for the medium, I left 14 rows unworked. Is this big enough for you, or does it need to be smaller or larger? This is where your trying it on comes in. So your stitch markers should still be there from where you tried this on, and this would be the opening that you need to leave. And then of course you will need to join the shoulders. So make sure you make your slip knot again, insert in the cornermost stitch on both panels, find those 2 strands. Once again, make sure you start strong with your first stitch and then you make your first standing single crochet. After you have done that, you can go and work your way inwards for as many stitches as you need. For the medium size, that means I'm going to do 25 stitches on each shoulder, and I will have 27 stitches left in the middle which have been unworked. Check the pattern for all the other amounts for the other sizes. Pick up all the strands of the stitches that you need to pick up on both panels and work your way in. Then I suggest you do the other shoulder, leaving a long tail end, try it on again, and then you can make your adjustment with that tail end, making more stitches or taking them out if you need to. So do the other side and try it on again. Sew in your ends, turn your sweater vest inside out, and it will be ready. The length of the panel was 51 centimeters or 20 inches. The width of the panel was 58 centimeters or 23 inches. And this is of course for the medium size. The finished wearable weighed 295 grams, and so that used up 3 balls of yarn. The written pattern contains all the information you need for small, medium and large versions of this wearable, and it also gives you all the measurements. As you can tell, because we've made a flowy fabric, it will adjust itself to your body shape. And I would like to thank Teresa very much for coming up with this idea. A really simple wearable, one that is open, accessible to everyone to make, and that is very, very wearable as well. Thank you, Teresa and Poppy, for showing off the item and for going on a walk with Teddy to show off your lovely garment. Thank you very much for watching this video. I hope you liked it. I hope you will make this project, and I hope to see you in the next video. Bye!